It's Friday, January 30th, 2026, and there may have been a significant shift in the winter storm. Shelter-in-place warnings are already beginning to be issued, as well as blizzard conditions could be possible. This could cause travel disruptions and potential power outages. This storm is expected to start later tonight and last through Sunday night, affecting areas such as Knoxville, Jacksonville, and even parts of Atlanta. In fact, this winter storm is so large that it could impact the entire eastern side of the United States. So in today's forecast, I will break down everything that you need to know about this shift in the winter storm. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I want to go ahead and begin with our precipitation type, as this is so we can sort of view the low pressure systems and all the rain and precipitation that we're going to be seeing in the United States over the next few days. But starting off right now, nothing too crazy is occurring really. Just some snowflakes starting to sort of accumulate in parts of Tennessee, North and South Carolina, even into parts of northeastern Georgia, as well as parts of southwestern Virginia and into parts of southern West Virginia. This is also sort of into parts of Pikeville, Kentucky, which this could be causing just some snowflakes to start falling over the next few hours or so. Nothing's really going to stick right now, though, until we move on into, like I said, the next few hours whenever things are more favorable for these conditions. But yeah, this system is going to be pretty significant and could even cover the whole eastern parts of the United States. But this is all driven by this low pressure system here, over here near Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, and South Carolina, which is sort of driving all of this precipitation, like all the rain and stuff, to sort of plummet into parts of the eastern side of the United States, bringing snowflakes and causing like winter precipitation. So nothing too crazy is occurring right now. But as we move on later into the day, this begins to sort of move up the eastern coast. And we could see more snow and some freezing rain in parts of like South Carolina and into parts of North Carolina. As we move on later into the day is when things start to pick up as we move on into tomorrow morning and later on into tomorrow. I might do winter coverage for this storm, but overall the chances are pretty low because I have plans tomorrow. But there's a chance that I could be able to go live in the earlier morning hours into the midday hours. Once it hits the 5:30 Central Standard Time is when I can't really do live much. But if we take a look at this right here, this is what things are going to be looking like as we move on into later tomorrow, on into Sunday. Across much of the eastern United States, this is when this will really start to pick up and just start to act like a normal low pressure system. This sort of tighter area of the snow mix with rain could cause some freezing rain and ice around the water areas, which obviously won't freeze because moving water does not normally freeze. But this begins to move off, bringing snow to much of the eastern United States as we move on into the northeast, even into parts of New England and a bunch of those areas up there. And then the system sort of starts to move off as we move on into Monday. Some lake effect snow will begin to fire up in parts of the Great Lakes, more on the western side of Michigan. And then we get a high pressure system start to hover over much of the southeast, sort of just keeping things nice and clear. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at our European model with the total snowfall rates. This is the 10-to-1 ratio in inches. Total snowfall does not mean that this is all the snow that will be falling in one given time. This is all the snow that we could see in the times that we go up to, all the snow that we could be seeing in that one area over the times that we go up to on the radar. But starting off right now, this is what things are looking like. Not too crazy, just some snow starting to fire up near Knoxville, parts of Virginia, West Virginia, Pikeville, Kentucky, all those sort of areas. And then nothing too crazy happens, just some buildup of more snow accumulation as we move on into later on into Sunday morning. And this will really start to move on into more of the East Coast around areas like Myrtle Beach as we move on later on into Sunday late morning hours. And this expands pretty much to the coast of Florida, which is a pretty crazy sight, as Florida will not be seeing too much, just some little light snowflakes that most likely won't stick to the ground. But some snow flurries could be moving into parts of Nashville, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, even some light snowflakes that won't do very much. But it's better than no snowflakes on areas like Santa Rosa Beach and into the Gulf Shores area. But this snow continues to sort of move all across the East Coast, bringing snow up to areas such as Delaware, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and areas like that. But overall, the most snowfall that we will be seeing is probably going to be in the ocean. Earlier on in the week, we saw that most of this was going to be more on land, causing a significant winter weather. But like I said, models can shift and move and do different things as we move on. The further out you go, the less you can really trust the models. I believe that the European model has been nailing these winter storms recently, as well as the HRRR. But I continue to stick with the European model as of now, which, if you're not a weather nerd, you won't know what the models are. But yeah, snow continues to move into parts of New England and really ranges across the whole eastern coast of the United States. Snowfall rates could exceed 6 inches in areas more in the south central parts of North Carolina, into the very, very eastern parts of Tennessee, as well as parts of more northern South Carolina. If you don't know where you are on the map, that's not my problem. You should probably learn that. But snowfall rates could probably exceed up to 10 inches just on the coast of North Carolina. But this is still a few days out, and we cannot accurately predict how this weather pattern is going to change and what all is going to do over the next few days and even hours. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at our temperatures in Fahrenheit just to show you how cold it could get in some of these areas. Temperatures are already in the single digits and even potentially the negatives in parts of Minnesota, North Dakota, and into parts of South Dakotas, into parts of Iowa, which is more the single digits. The more south you go, the more warm it gets. That's how it tends to stay over the United States, over pretty much the climate is how it really is. But as we move on into Saturday, colder temperatures obviously start to occur over the eastern sides of the United States, which is what is letting the snow sort of accumulate and begin to stick across much. Overall, temperatures are beginning to drive down south as we move on into later Saturday, around 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, which won't bring anything too crazy, but obviously still some cold temperatures and some chilly mornings for much of the southeastern areas and into the south central areas of the United States. Like I said, if you don't know where you are on the United States map, that is not my problem. You should probably get that figured out. As we move on into 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Saturday, this is what things will be looking like. Temperatures begin to stay cold over the eastern areas as we move on into later on Saturday. Into Sunday, around 12-ish to 1 a.m., this is what things will be looking like. Some colder temperatures over parts of Memphis, Tennessee, into parts of Arkansas, and into northwestern Mississippi. Nothing too crazy occurs as of now. Like I said, that low pressure system here, which you can sort of see on the temperature map here, with that little curve right there is what it is going to be looking like on the temperature map. But that is just sort of the low pressure system just doing its thing, moving off onto the more eastern sides and northern sides of the world. And yeah, temperatures don't continue to really do much over the next few days, but this is what things are going to be looking like. Snow, cold temperatures, and yeah. However, that was all we had to talk about today. I try to post every single day. I know I haven't been doing that schedule recently due to things that have popped up on my schedule. Got a new desk, fixed my setup, rearranged my whole room. That locker will not be staying back there for long. I do apologize for that if you were one of the people that realized that was there. Neither is that fan over there. But I might go live doing some winter coverage tomorrow. I know this video was late, and I do apologize for that. Don't forget to follow me for more weather updates, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace!